we are the Backwards Hat Club, also known as... And we are here to talk about the two main event matches for 2018 SummerSlam.
Oh, it's Super Slam.
Summertime.
It's going to be 6 hours long.
So long.
They need like cut now from their piece.
That's past my bedtime.
We need a nap in
Yes.
between.
You need an intermission, nap break, and then get back to the wrestling.
Yeah. You should definitely write creative about this.
Alright, I'll start on the letter after we film this video.
Okay.
Awesome.
Dear WWE, why am I stupid?
Wow.
They can't answer that.
No, they can't.
It's going to take a really long time.
I'm pretty
But
smart.
they can get into the first match.
Yeah, first match
Oh, I like that segue. That wasn't bad.
is AJ Styles, the phenomenal one.
You don't want none, no. You don't want none. This
That
is
was they
mine.
don't want none.
They don't want none.
There you go.
They don't-
versus
You
Samoa Joe.
Dum, bum, bum.
I feel like this should be more exciting, but... And because these guys kind of came up the ranks together, they wrestled in Ring of Honor and all that stuff.
And
TNA. But it seems like it was thrown together very last minute. So, I don't know. I'm not feeling too like, oh my god, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Like, I don't know why that's not exciting me like it should. I don't know if anyone else feels the same.
I'm excited.
Excited for everything in
No,
wrestling.
but I like this match.
I mean, I'm sure the match is going to be
You're
great, but
You don't get hyped, you stay hyped.
Yeah.
not anymore.
In the classic way of being a, face versus heel, I think I'm excited about it. The dynamic in the ring is always exciting. You have the slow, methodical, mean Samoa Joe versus the high-flying, crazy, acrobatic AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So, I think it's exciting.
I mean, there definitely could have been more build-up.
Well, that's what
Because they're like, all of a sudden, Paige's like, oh, we're going to announce who's going to be your opponent. And all of a sudden, you text AJ and then Samoa Joe signs a contract. Oh, he's the opponent now.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have done something where, like, maybe they had, like, a mini number one contender tournament and then, or like a battle royal. Have something where, like, Joe comes back and just destroys everyone, so that gets you thinking, like, oh, Joe's, like, a legitimate contender. Like, we know he is, but because we followed his career, but, the average fan who just knows Samoa Joe through WWE, they don't know. They're just like, oh, this random guy just shows up and gets into the title match. He just comes back from, his injury or something, and kind of gets thrown into the title picture, which, happens, but like I said, on paper the match is going to be great as long as they let them do what they need to do. They had some great matches in TNA and Ring of Honor, but I don't know, I'm just not as excited for it. Maybe because there wasn't so much of a build-up for it. That's just my thoughts, I guess.
I think Dean Ambrose might show up because Samoa Joe is the one who took Dean Ambrose out, and then when they had the draft, Dean Ambrose never went drafted, so he's technically a free agent. So if he wanted to,
no,
I could see him showing up.
No, because all they did was just move people around. No one, the people that were on Raw in the beginning are still on Raw. It wasn't because they weren't drafted. It was because they just were drafted, and that's fine. Like, not everyone was going to move from one show.
But for the
to the other.
storyline purposes,
I guess you could
Samoa
do that.
Joe's the one who took Dean Ambrose out. I can see that happening.
But they don't necessarily need to move him to SmackDown to do that. Since the pay-per-views are co-branded anyways, you can just have Dean Ambrose come back and then have him come back on Raw or something. And then, the next night of SmackDown, he shows up and starts messing with Joe. And then the next pay-per-view, they'll have, the payback where I can't think of the words, but they have their match, essentially. So,
Yeah.
But, if you're on Raw, you're on Raw, you're on SmackDown. At least the way that's how the WWE set it up. So I'm just sticking with that. Plus, I don't want him to stay with his Shield guys. So that makes the most sense to me, at least.
Yeah, but I think the Shield's pretty much done.
Well,
I'm sure once Dean comes
they're
back.
teasing it with Rollins and Reigns. Too.
Yeah,
I
they
think
put them
Dean's
together.
turning heel.
It's literally always going to be relevant until they break them up again. This time it won't be Rollins, it'll be someone
I think
else.
Dean's going to turn heel soon.
No.
Happy Scary Dean.
No.
Anyways, back to this match. We're going off topic.
Anyway, I have AJ Styles winning.
Yeah, same. AJ Styles. I think you can get another couple matches out of him and Joe, and hopefully the next match will be a little more exciting. But yeah, I'll go AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
I don't know.
Well,
I guess I'm going to pick Joe.
okay. Do you really think he's going to win, or are you just going against him?
Just to go against you guys
Okay.
mainly,
All right.
but at the same time, as much as I love Styles, I'd like to see someone else win. You know, Styles.
I know you ain't much of a Joe fan. At least the last time we talked about Joe, you were like,
I'm not
I
a
don't really
huge-
care for him.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge Joe fan by any means.
No.
I think he's actually kind of boring. I mean, and also, I don't think he's even. I mean, obviously he's talented, of course, but I don't think he's even that smooth in the ring. I think he's pretty careless a lot of the time. So,
He broke Tyson Kidd's neck.
I mean, why would I know obviously accidents happen, of course, but I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is the WWE shouldn't reward careless guys, but sometimes they do.
Look at Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
Ryback. Well,
So,
they've given them.
I'm not really that excited for the match, to be honest, from a storyline
I think if they
perspective,
did
as
a
you guys
better
said.
job with the feud, I think we'd be more
But
into it.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. Just if they did a better job building up the feud.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a decent match, of course, and Styles is one of the most talented guys in the ring to date, of course. But just to be different, I'm going Joe.
Fair enough.
So, the last and final match that we're going to be talking about
We're ready
is
for this one.
Roman Reigns
Boo!
versus Brock Lesnar.
Boo!
Would you rather have that guy as a champ?
Did you say boo or moo?
Yes, he said.
Boo both these guys.
Just
Both these guys suck.
And yeah, you're going to the shop.
Yeah, but not for that match.
You're still there.
He's going to go to the bathroom.
You're still there.
during this
You still
match?
paid.
Because Braun's going to cash in.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Possibly.
You
Just
know,
speculation.
but it's not confirmed, so
Oh,
you're
no,
going there to see the man.
So I will say it now and as many times as I have to. Get Brock Lesnar out of the WWE. Like, I'm so tired. And the more people he screws over, the more good guys who are always there, always hardworking, the more he screws them over, the less likely I am to, like, be behind this
Look
guy.
at guys like Rollins, Ziggler, a bunch of other guys. The list
Put
goes
it
on.
on anybody else.
He's been there.
Balor.
every Monday.
Even.
But then Brock just signed an extension with McMahon.
No,
So
supposedly.
he's still gonna be around after SummerSlam.
Oh, if he's going to be around,
Really?
let
What's
him,
around?
Yeah, if he's going to be around, then at least let him just be like a special attraction without the
Like,
title.
he doesn't need a title, just have him drop it. And then,
Yeah, but I think, and it's a little, I guess, conspiracy theory type stuff, but I'm guessing all this stuff between WWE and UFC and Brock Lesnar and UFC, it's all in collaboration. WWE knows because WWE knows Brock not being there gets people talking, gets them all worked up like we're doing, and it will make people invested at least in that way in whatever Brock Lesnar does show up, because we want to see, is this the time he loses the title? Is this the time we can finally say, the title's back on Raw? So I think it's all just a big elaborate plan, some like handshake agreement between Vince and Dana White. Hey, my guy's going over to you, let's see if we can make this work in both of our favors. Because there's a lot of fans that cross over between WWE and UFC. So,
What do you think they'll actually make him a double champion?
it's possible.
That's a pretty damn good theory
But
there,
the thing
Mark.
is with UFC's real, so
Well, yeah, but we know he
Wait, WWE's fake?
yeah.
ripped. But it wouldn't surprise me because he was really good in UFC back in the day. Like, I didn't watch any of it, but I
He
know.
has some good fights with Frank Mir,
Yeah,
Cain Velasquez, Randy Couture.
and he's been champion before there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
so
when he-
it's completely.
And then he got sick with his intestinal problem.
Yeah, so it's completely, not out of the realm of thought that he would keep the Universal title. Let him walk out with it at the next UFC event that he's fighting in, and then if he happens to be, but
He did that.
no, because the fans there know that like he's a WWE guy too, but. He probably has a little bit something built up with those fans because he's
Does he have
been
the
in
same
UFC before.
music for in the UFC? I think.
I don't know.
I think he does.
Maybe. But
That's-
if he comes in there with the Universal title, that's won't even be a thought for the fans there, just because they like Brock Lesnar so much. And then he shows up with the Universal title at UFC, wins it, and then he comes back like the next week on Raw, and it's like, hey, look, I have 2 different belts from 2 different promotions. Like, the place would go completely, like, the internet would go crazy, first of all.
Go ahead.
And then the fans would be like, what the fuck, man?
How crazy would this be? I just had a thought,
Okay.
and I'd like to
I
express
see
it.
the light bulb, so,
Not very often I have light bulbs going on, but this time I do.
yeah.
So, Lesnar retains
Right.
at SummerSlam. I don't want that to happen, but I could very well see that happening.
Yeah.
He retains. His next MMA fight, whatever that is,
Not till like January, I don't
shows up with the Universal title. Strowman randomly appears and cashes in there after Lesnar gets beat up in the ring.
I would not.
How amazing would that be?
I wouldn't be surprised if they
How
do
crazy
something
would
like
that be?
But at the same time, that would be like the biggest FU to wrestling fans because the title change. The title changes happen on a show on Raw, on SmackDown, on pay-per-views, sometimes in house shows. But it happens there. But it would be interesting if they would like allow something like
think.
that.
They teased it. Actually.
That'd be-
Well, like Braun shows up at a match and gets in his face, and
It's
then
in the
he
crowd or
has
something.
Yeah, like they
He
could
has
do
a
something like
case
that. I
like
don't think
that.
I would want him to like drag a referee with him and then cash in. First of all,
That'd be hilarious.
It'd be a big FU to the fans
It would
at
be.
UFC too.
But I mean, there are, like you said, though, there are crossover between
I think a
MMA
crossover
and
to
WWE fans.
Yeah, I think a crossover to an extent though. Like some WWE fans like UFC, some UFC like WWE, but then there's definitely WWE fans that don't like UFC.
True.
That's kind of where I am. And then there's UFC fans that don't like wrestling, like pro wrestling.
And some people like both.
Yeah. So that's an interesting theory. That would
You never know.
certainly get like media talking and stuff like that. But I think if a cash-in happens and it's successful, it has to be like on Raw's
On the Raw or pay-per-view.
pay-per-view. Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's
speculation.
that
Just
gets you
speculation.
thinking a little bit. That's crazy. Anyone else have any crazy theories like that? That took me for a loop.
I think secretly, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar is a robot, and Paul Heyman's just operating him,
Oh,
and
wow.
Lesnar's like losing his circuits are breaking, and that's why Lesnar started to turn on Heyman a
Speaking
little
of
bit.
Heyman,
So speaking of that,
where does Heyman, fall into this? Where he's like, oh, I haven't talked to Brock in a week ever since he turned his back on me. Maybe it's,
He won't return my calls.
maybe it's just all a work. That it's just working with us.
yeah. What do you think?
Working us all over.
Does Heyman like having a guy in the mix, or is this a split between Brock and Heyman?
I don't really know. They're going to constantly have Paul Heyman around.
Yeah.
He's going to find a new guy.
So, but do you think this is that?
Is this the time?
Is this the time? before it
I think
happens.
they need to build it up a little bit. It was just one real true spat between him and.
Well, then there's that, and then this past week, they did that interview, and him was like, Brock has to turn my calls, blah, blah, blah.
I think it needs like a little bit more time, and then finally something's gonna break
Yeah.
inside Paul Heyman.
Unless Paul Heyman has to turn on Brock, he goes to Roman, or Roman Reigns becomes the new Paul Heyman guy. Roman Reigns turns heel.
That'd be interesting.
But then I read something that he has no interest. Roman Reigns has no interest in doing that. So
Doesn't really need a manager. So,
yeah.
you know,
I'd be for that though. That'd be
it
pretty
would
cool.
be something because it's not something we've seen too much. Like
Heyman
we
did
saw
manage-
Heyman.
He managed the Wild Samoans, his
Yeah.
father. So
Yeah. And Heyman did move from like CM Punk back in the day to Brock Lesnar. So
yeah.
we have seen stuff like that before, but not to that extent because he's been with Lesnar even before Lesnar's comeback.
Since like 2002.
Yeah, he was a manager for Lesnar back then, and then I think Paul Heyman was SmackDown general manager at one
Yeah.
point, and you know they have still that connection there.
So I see that as a possibility, but then again, I think the WWE is teasing that and just trolling the fans.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Or what if Roman ends up winning the title and Braun cashes in on him?
Well, then,
I'm all for that.
then
Man.
all those
That'd
fans will be happy.
awesome.
They can
That'd be amazing.
go
That's gotta
on
happen.
their
man.
Braun Strowman figures and stuff like that.
Well, guys, this has been super intriguing and interesting. Lots of different theories going on.
You have any theories on it?
But we're gonna wrap it up there. Tell us what you think. Like, comment, subscribe,
We didn't say who we thought was going to win now.
Oh, right.
Roman, probably. Maybe Braun cashes in. I want Braun to cash in, but hopefully, just to get the belt off Brock, Roman wins.
I'm going with Brock winning, but Braun cashing in.
See, I wouldn't mind that. But I'll go Roman winning finally.
Me too. Roman.
Alright,
For sure.
there we go.
Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. As you were saying,
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. All that
Exactly.
good stuff.
what she said.
What I said.
And I'm going to be there live in Brooklyn next Sunday, so it's going to be awesome. We're taking lots of pictures.
Stay tuned to the page. He's our insider.
It's my fourth
SummerSlam.
year in a row going to SummerSlam Brooklyn.
I'm going to miss it this time.
It's going to be awesome.
Alright, I hope you guys have fun watching wherever you are. Have a
See
good
ya.
night.
See ya.